So I guess the first bit is to show you this piece of the control panel here. So that fits, or used to fit, right here. And that was how you control the air conditioning on the Tweet. But the big knob you see here, it says pull vent. So that we just called it the vent knob. And when you had the air conditioner running, it's pulling bleed air off the engines to run the air conditioner and the heater for whatever you need. And remember that the T-37 was not a pressurized cockpit, so you kind of had whatever you had from a standpoint of pressure, and then the AC would keep you mostly warm up at high. Didn't work very well cold. But if you pulled it to vent, there's literally a vent up on the front of the airplane where it would just let ambient air in. And the more clever of the instructors out there in the world figured out that if you pulled the AC to vent, you were no longer robbing bleed air from the engine, and so the engines were more efficient, so you could get better gas mileage, if you will. So as instructors, we would cheat and pull the vent knob pretty much from the time we left the chocks until the time we landed, to be able to go further across country than we did with students. But the problem with that is you then have to live with whatever the ambient temperature is, and up at flight level 250, 25,000 feet, you're talking about in the minus something degrees, minus 20, minus 25 degrees. So I can remember vividly a friend of mine and I, two IPs, going from Laughlin Air Force Base, Texas to Vegas. We were trying to get to Vegas. And it was going to be 3 hops in the Tweet. We had to make it to El Paso, and then we had to make it to Luke, and then it was a pretty short flight into Nellis. But so we were flying vent the whole way. But by the time we got to Luke, we'd been up at altitude for, I don't know, almost 2 hours, and minus 20-something degrees. We were all bundled up. We had on our flight jackets, we had on scarves, we had gloves, extra sets of gloves and everything. So we come smoking down into Luke on a sunny summer day like July, maybe 112 degrees on the ramp. Come taxiing in, and a young airman who's taxiing us in is wearing fatigues with like short sleeves on, and very much decked out for sunny weather, and all he can see is these two guys sitting there just shivering. He was checking and saying, "Well, sir, are you guys okay?" So, "Yeah, just give us a minute. We have to warm up, and we'll be okay." So luckily the last leg into Vegas was shorter, so we could run the AC and sort of go in relative comfort there. But that was some of the things you did in the Tweet to be able to get somewhere.